So, I got a comment down below. Something. And I want to real fast also shout out my man, Alti Cat, who actually went ahead and showed me the light on quarterback number 2 being Browning. But I got a comment from Ben Frank Friendly, who actually had an idea for a trade that, specially enough, made a lot of sense to me. So, starting off right away, what he talked about is if they do go ahead and go with DeJuan Jones in the first round, right? So you get that franchise right tackle, which I know, commenting down below, Jay Cook talked about how there are some question marks with DeJuan Jones. The reason why he's not going to be a first-round pick is because, yes, well, I think he's a great tackle. A lot of people think he's a great tackle. He's falling in a lot of mock drafts because people just... There's this question marks about him, right? So, with that being said, because he is dropping, if Cincinnati does take him the 28th overall pick, I don't really think it's that horrendous at all. Right now, he is considered a second-round pick. His role as a right tackle, right? Where he wins is his size. What he can improve on is his vertical sets. Jones has mastered the art of quick settings to get his hands on edge rushers before they can get ahead of steam, but not an option for every play call against every alignment on the next level. Again, there are things he still has to master and work on. And I think with a good offensive lines coach, a good offensive, play caller, he can get a lot better. He's going to need some practice and, some actual work on him. But he's 374, he's 6'8", he's a huge guy. He's a monster right tackle, and he would be absolutely amazing for Cincy. So, here's what my man, Ben Frank Friendly said, was that if you do take DeJuan Jones in the first round, right? Obviously, let's be honest. I think majority of people like myself here are on the boat that Darnell Washington, you want to take him in this NFL draft, right? But you don't want to use the 28th overall pick on him. You want to use a second round pick on him. But the sad part is right now is if you try to take him in the second round, he doesn't drop far enough to Cincinnati, who picks at pick 60. So what he suggested, and what I actually do agree with a lot, is this. So what you do is you trade Jonah Williams, right? Now, again, keep this in mind. Jonah Williams right now, experts are saying that since he's going to get a 5th round pick, most likely Cincinnati is not going to accept a 5th round pick for him. They'll probably won't accept anything other than a 2nd or a 3rd. So because of that, they might not find that suitable agreement with another trade partner. So when the NFL draft rolls around, you just take you take DeJuan Jones, right? You take your new franchise tackle. Then you call up Tennessee. You say, hey, Tennessee, right? Let me see where Tennessee is right here. You say, hey, Tennessee, we want your 41st overall pick. We'll trade you Jonah Williams for your 41st overall pick, and we'll give you our 60th overall pick. So you're trading Jonah Williams to move up around 19 spots. You offer the trade, they say, awesome, and now you have the 41st overall pick instead of having, the 60th overall pick. Now, why is that important? Well, we're going to go ahead and take DeJuan Jones here, right? And now, second round, right? You can see who was not taken. Oh, yeah, that's right. Darnell Washington was not taken in the second round yet because he usually gets taken early to mid second round. So this gives Cincinnati the chance to now say, okay, we're going to go now take Darnell Washington. Now, I'll be honest with you, if Laporta's on the board and Darnell Washington's on the board, that would be a difficult choice in my opinion on who to take. Both of those guys are really, really good. I love Darnell Washington a tad bit better because I believe if you bring a veteran tight end in, you bring a tight end that can really teach him how to be a better receiver, then he's going to be an absolute freaking stud. He's 6'7", he's 245, he has the blocking of a right tackle, he's a monster. 265. So he's an absolute monster, but you're going to have to bring somebody in who can do that. All right, so in the third round now, give me Tank. I'll take Tank. So now we get a right tackle, franchise tackle done, right? You get your running back Tank, who now is going to be your backup to, if you do pick up Zeke Elliott and you have obviously Joe Mixon, he'll be your third string guy, who eventually, obviously, Mixon is more of a, not Mixon. I would say Zeke is more of a bridge running back until Tank does become number one running back, and then you're gonna get rid of Mixon and also get rid of Zeke in the end, right? And then Tank becomes the backfield. Second pick here, fourth round. I really do like Deuce, but I'm probably taking Ronnie Hickman here. I think Ronnie Hickman is an amazing safety, and I think he could help out Cincinnati a lot, especially if Nick Scott, if he does go ahead and lack in any way, you bring in Hickman as a rotational piece, then you can, not Nick Scott. If Dax Hill does lack in any way, you bring in a rotational piece with him. Absolute great idea right there. So now in the fifth round, this is where, again, I would love to take Josh Whyle. I think Josh Whyle would be an amazing pick right here. You got, your starting tight end, Darnell Washington. Obviously, you're probably picking up a veteran. Maybe you're going to pick up, Cethan Carter. Then you, of course, have, your Darnell Washington. And now you got your Josh Whyle. And that right there, in my opinion, absolute stud draft so far. All right, well, now we're in the sixth round, right? And we're looking at the best players available. All right, some decent players. Okay, well, what I really want in the sixth round here is I'm probably going with a pass rusher. And Lonnie Phillips from Kansas is a really decent pass rusher. So go ahead and bring him in. Give Lou another little piece on that defense to get after the quarterback. And now, if he's available, he is not available. Dang it, man, because I would love to have taken Sterling here in the seventh round, but he's not available. So now we're probably going to be looking at some cornerbacks that probably won't be the greatest, in all honesty. And if I'm Cincinnati here, I probably wouldn't just go for a corner. But, okay. Miles Brooks from Louisiana, looks okay. And maybe take him just as that, obviously compliment. And here's the draft and how they rated it. Of course, they're not going to love my Darnell Washington pick, no matter what. Especially not with Sam Laporta on the board. They're never going to like that Darnell Washington pick. They also don't like Josh Whyle. But I think, honestly, that's a really good freaking draft. You get a franchise tackle. You get your two tight ends moving forward. And, a commenter actually pointed this out to me a little while ago. And I think it's a really good point. Is that, Hayden Hurst for Cincinnati. Because I had to go back to look myself. Because I didn't realize this. Hayden wasn't really that crazy for you guys. Like, don't get me wrong. During the playoff stretch, he did really good, right? But throughout the season, obviously he dealt with injuries. He really wasn't anything crazy special when it comes to stats. It's not like you're replacing him in the aspect of, you're replacing, like, let's say, for example, T. Higgins or Tyler Boyd. You're replacing a guy who, honestly, you just need him to put up 400 or 500 yards in a season and get a couple touchdowns, and that's really all you need. And you're going to easily find that with a Darnell Washington in the red zone. You're going to find that with a more vertical threat in Josh Whyle, right? So that helps you out a lot. Then you got Tank in the backfield. You got Ronnie Hickman. Absolute not God tier safety, but really good safety. I also did get a comment one time. Someone was like, you make these rookies to be like, Pro Bowlers already. And don't get me wrong. Listen, all these, at the end of the day, all these draft picks could be bust, right? Absolutely could be bust. I like to talk them up a little bit. I like to, get people excited about some of these draft picks where, yes, some of them could be bust, but you have to keep in mind a lot of players end up becoming busts. Some because they just suck, right? But some become busts because they go to the wrong system, right? And I think this, if you go back to quarterbacks out of college, right? A lot of quarterbacks out of college, whenever a guy comes out of college, like, for example, Lamar Jackson, the Ravens took him and built an offense around him. Many teams will not do that. Many teams, when a quarterback comes out of college, they say, listen, we have our system right now. We don't care if you can or can't do it. we're going to work our system no matter what. And they don't play on the player's strengths. They don't work on the player's strengths. They kind of just say, listen, if you're either it works with you or you're a bust. And that's it. And that's not really always fair to the player. Now, again, you got to keep in mind, Cincinnati, they have really good coaches. Going from Callahan, Lou, obviously Pollock. They have really good coaches that can develop these players. So a guy like, for example, Ronnie Hickman here, right? In Lou's defense, he might end up going out there and looking like he could be a starting safety on all 32 NFL teams. And you might say, well, he was a 4th round pick. How was he a starting safety? How did so many teams miss him? Because he'll go in the Cleveland Brownies roster and look like a 17-year-old box of oatmeal on the shelf. Okay? It's all about coaching. I think Bill Belichick said the best quote ever. He said, players win games, coaches lose them. And that is the God-honest truth. So, a lot of these guys, you might say, well, you're talking up a 6th or 7th round pick fantasy. You're talking up a 5th round pick. What are you doing? These guys can't be all stars. It's not that they're going to be stars, right? A lot of these draft picks, I don't think are going to be stars. I think they're going to be valued pieces in the system. There's a difference. Jesse Bates was a star. Jesse Bates was a monster. Ronnie Hickman is going to be a perfect cog in the machine that the mad scientist Lou is building. That makes sense? Ronnie Hickman's not going to be a guy who goes out there on any other team and becomes this, he might be, he might be, but he's probably not going to be that superstar anywhere else. But in the right system, with the right coaches, it makes the most out of a player. And it brings the best out of a player. There's some food for thought. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next one. Peace out.